So it's been a minute. I know I always say that, but I've been real busy with my day job, and now I've finally got some time to give you guys an update on what has been happening. So these are my castings for the production version of the Hustler V Twin. You might recall, if you're subscribed to the channel, from my previous videos, I made a 60-degree V-twin engine for Tim at Hustler Mini Bikes. So the prototype worked. It's been riding around. He's even had Greg Murphy give it a go. You can check that out on his socials. But yeah, the thing's been doing awesome. So now we're kicking it into production. What that means is I'm outsourcing these castings. So I've got my mate Scotty at Abcast. I'll leave a link to his website in the description. Top bloke. He's cast these for me. I have paid for this. This isn't a freebie, so I've paid for these, but I'm really happy with them. And what we're going to do now is, depending on orders, I'll be able to get these cast in batches and then have them machined. Initially, I'm machining them myself. So there's some pretty sweet looking castings. We'll take a quick close-up look at them. So here's the castings. As you can see, they look very professional. A little bit of flash that needs to be cleaned off around the edges, but that's up to me. You can see all the draft on these. It helps the pattern release from the sand without any damage. You can also see where the risers were, here and here, but otherwise very professional, very fast, and outsourcing these things is amazing. I just tell Scotty how many I want, and then when he, schedules it in, I'll go pick them up and they will be done. So that's the next step, is being able to sell a bunch of these. And then here's the other side. I've already started machining it. So there was a riser here. That's been faced off. The PTO face has been skim smooth. These have been tapped. M8. And otherwise this looks amazing. There's a bit of flash down here, but that'll be cleaned up at the end when I'm finishing these up. And you can see the inside. It's all amazing. So those are the castings for the production version of the V-twin. And yeah, check out Hustler Mini Bikes. I'll leave a link in the description, because Tim will be selling these, mostly in bikes, but I think he might sell individual engines. That's up to him, depending on demand. Now, the way these castings were done was using a match plate. Now, you may wonder what a match plate is. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm not going to explain quite how it's used, but this is a match plate. So this is the pattern for my flywheel cover for this V-twin. This is all MDF, glued together and then machined on a CNC router. You can see on the other side, we have the negative, whatever you want to call it, and essentially, if you've ever seen sand casting before, they get a flask. It's a box, goes over here, they ram it full of sand, they flip it over, do the same on the other side, and then the good thing about this match plate is they take the boxes off, pull this out, and then put them back together, and they have a perfect mold for this part. And here we have the match plate. You can see the finish. It's done with a Bornos end mill. There's a couple of funnies on here, but I wouldn't worry about that. So this is the match plate. It's got all the taper and draft it needs to release from the sand. So all this needs now, scuff up with sandpaper or bog this blemish, and there was a bit of a funny here with the end mill, or bog this, just build this up with bog, and this will be finished. This will be perfect for making this cover. You see the other side, there's the inside. I'll just clean off all the edges again so the sand can release smooth, and then I'll paint it and give it a wet and dry so it is glass-like, but this is essentially how production patterns are made for gravity sandcast parts. Once you put all the work into one of these, the castings are actually relatively cheap. This is the hard work making the match plate patterns, but that's something I kind of want to get into. So yeah, if you're interested, reach out. Could be something I do. If people want clutch covers or something like that, if you get in touch, I could probably organize the foundry too. Just give you a price, but perfect for things like this: clutch covers, one-off parts, reproduction parts. Although the foam casting is still the king when you're just doing one of something, maybe even two. But when you're doing a part like this, and you can make one of these, and this legitimately took about 2 hours to draft up on the CAD, and then probably another 3 hours to glue the, not waiting for the glue the wood, and then have it all machined. So, the foam casting is good for one or two, but you really can't beat this if you're getting it cast at a local foundry.
So what's happening here is I'm using these 1, 2, 3 blocks. I've verified their width with my calipers. I've got ball bearings sitting in the holes, and now I can place the casting on them so it is only contacting in 3 points, making it nice and steady and not putting too much stress on it. From there it was time to square up the casting to the table. Now initially you just have to make do with what you've got. You don't exactly have any machined surfaces to work with. And here you can see the 3 ball bearings. So that setup was actually pretty average. So as you can see, I changed to 2 clamps and then got right into machining by flicking on the laptop, chucking in the 50mm face mill and getting these castings down to the correct thickness. So if you're into this kind of stuff and you love engines, check out my mate Glenn's channel. He's currently putting a turbocharger onto a 125cc motorcycle. He's making about 53 horsepower. I'll leave a link in the description. It is worth a watch. I actually went and machined the other side off camera and then got it ready to place down directly onto the table. The next step was to again just verify my setup with the square, and it was pretty good from one end to the other within 0.1 of a millimeter essentially. This allowed me to take a cut, and this cut is now going to be used as a reference for the y-axis for all subsequent operations. So you need to do this early on. So if you take the part on and off the mill, you can set it up with a degree of repeatability. This is my edge finder, so the next step is to just probe, touch off all 4 sides of that center bore, and that will give me my X, Y datum point for everything. And then once I have that datum point, it's time to start drilling holes and boring a reference bore, which will be used when I flip over the cases. So when I'm about to drill holes, I always do a 0.5 millimeter deep spot drill, just to make sure they are in the right place on the casting, as you can always wipe them off if there is something funny. And because I don't have a 6.8mm drill bit, I need to buy one. I just quickly bored all of these holes to 6.8 so I could tap them M8. And this here is the reference bore. This has been done with a 10mm end mill. This is about 3500 RPM. I think it's moving at about 400mm a minute. It's taking somewhere between 0.025 and 0.04 millimeters feet per tooth. And now I'm just verifying how accurate that bore was. It doesn't actually matter because this is being finished with a boring head, but I'm just checking to see how round it is essentially, because when you interpolate a hole, it's not going to be round. It's going to be kind of like an egg shape, so I'll go check it left and right and then diagonally, and you will see a degree of variation when I do this diagonally. So that's a wrap on the machining for this week on the production version of the V-Twin. I've also got this on the go. This is an adapter for the mini bike. You can see one here. It's a pinch for the axle. It means the wheel will be perfectly aligned with the forks. There's a fender mount and the standard 44mm spaced bolt holes for the adapter, and then I'm going to run this RPM Racing radial caliper. So in another video I'll be getting these made. I'll be showing you how I design them. I'll actually do it step by step, and then I'll explain why, what necessitated this, and then the effects it will have on the mini bike. As you can see, the mini bike looks pretty sad. Here's the original fork bottom, so you can already see the difference. But the plan is to get this thing finished in the next couple of videos, and then flick this project like a booger, get rid of it. And by that I mean, don't work on it anymore, just race it. You can also see that they're on the floor. So there's big news for that project. The plan with the V4. That is just a paperweight now. That is no longer part of the equation.
But essentially, this design is redundant. You know, I'd liken it to, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Sudoku, but if you've ever done a Sudoku, like an expert level Sudoku, you have to take chances early on, use a pencil, fill up some of the squares, and hope it sort of works out. And that's kind of how I feel about this design. Early on, I made some choices, and the further along I got, the more I regretted them, but I just designed around them. And I just got to the point where I thought, you know what, this whole thing can just go in the bin, so this is now just a paperweight. Well, it's not going in the bin, I'll probably just put it on the shelf. I've still got the design there, and I've still got all the patterns, but we're not doing this anymore. There's going to be no more YZ85 cylinder, no more YZ85 cranks. This thing is going to make more power, be a much larger displacement, and it's going to be a smaller engine. So you'll see that in a future video. So if you want to know more about this V4 project, which I think will be done quicker now that the design is changing, yeah, subscribe to the channel, because I'll take you through the design of this. I'm going to do some screen recording and really narrow in on how I design these things and why. And it's all going to be done on match plates, so repeatable castings, so I can, if people want them, pump them out. But the final design, it's going to be way more compact than this one, make more power, probably be lighter, and have less custom parts. So yeah, look forward to that in a future video.